Conor McGregor's downfall needs to be studied.
Conor's like, play it cool, play it.
Buddy, what the fuck is that? What up, what up, what up? Got a little reaction video. I know it's been a couple days. How long has it been? You're probably seeing this on a Wednesday. It's been, what, 2-3 days? Sorry about that. I will have my predictions out for the card this weekend, but, I just had to go. It's just so much excitement. I just really want to get it right. This is one of the biggest cards of the year. I'm talking about Marcin Tybura versus Sergey Spivak, okay? This is one of the greatest cards of the year. Dana and Hunter Campbell really did the thing with this one. I just want to get it right. I really want to give y'all the best predictions I can give y'all. So you'll be getting it tomorrow. And in honor of this video, we got, first of all, we're reacting to MMA Joey. Okay, MMA Joey. Conor's been in the media again, proving me right. I've been saying it for months, but he's back on his alcoholic-ish. So in honor of Conor McGregor, I don't know if you guys ever watched Sam and Cat. It wasn't that great of a show, to be honest. Sam and Cat, I don't know how old my audience is really, but they drunk a thing called Blue Dog soda. It's just a blue cream soda, but this is like a green dog soda. Soda. All right. Let's get into this reaction. Take it away, MMA Joey.
Michael Chandler finally admitted the Conor McGregor fight is never going to happen. After 2 long years with one dude on his mind, 1 year away from his family. I've got one dude on my mind. Brown-nosing and just sycophantically worshiping every one of Conor McGregor's moves and guaranteeing fight date after fight date after fight date. It appears, potentially, that Michael Chandler has finally accepted that he will never step in the cage with Conor McGregor. And we're going to break it down in this video because there's a lot more to it. Because Conor McGregor is going off on social media. There's some videos of him at BKFC. There's another video that's cell phone footage of him hanging out outside of BKFC.
Yeah, and a lot of people aren't talking about the arrest and convictions that he's been having over the last few years. 2 years suspended, even though he doesn't need to drive. He can hire a driver, but he can't drive in Ireland.
Which just leads me to believe that Conor McGregor may never return. But we're going to start off with Khabib Nurmagomedov. Because Khabib Nurmagomedov set this all in motion many, many years ago. Back in 2018. And we're going to jump back to 2018.
I know where he's going with this. He's going to say Khabib started Conor's spiral. Khabib is the reason Conor's on a downfall. But I think Khabib put the final nails in the coffin. Right? But if it's in the Conor says he was out drinking, partying. Before that fight, he didn't really train properly how he needed to. It's excuses. But that's what he said. And I look to the fight he had before this, actually boxing, against Floyd Mayweather. I think that boxing check and that boxing publicity and that Floyd Mayweather rub, I think that's what started it all. And once you go the boxing route, you have more ties into Hollywood, and things like that, more exposure, especially with a guy like Floyd Mayweather, like I said. So I think that's what really started it.
And look at the night that Khabib Nurmagomedov took Conor McGregor's soul. And I mean this. This isn't like some jab at Conor McGregor. Khabib took his soul that night. Choked him out via neck crank, tapped him to neck crank, dominated him for the entire fight. And Conor's never recovered from this loss. And since 2016, when he defeated Eddie Alvarez, he has one win against the dead corpse of Donald Cerrone, and that was back in 2020.
Yeah, I don't even count that fight. If you ask me, what's the last time Conor McGregor won a fight? 2016. Eddie Alvarez. That's what I would tell you. I don't even count that Donald Cerrone bullshit. No. And you add on the fact that Conor McGregor never defended his title. Nah. His legacy is a bit overrated, but it is still a great legacy because of what he did for the sport, how he grew the sport, the eyes he brought to the sport, and the way he was beating people. No doubt.
This loss right here still eats him alive. And honestly, this may have drove him to be an alcoholic. And
He was
he's
one
still
before.
not over it. And that's what started the interaction on Twitter between Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. How, you may ask? Well, we're going to start off with these
Donald
tweets.
Trump.
Now, I can't pull up Conor McGregor's official Twitter, so we're going to look at the tweets from another source.
Why
But these
can't
are screenshots of the tweets.
Are you blocked?
Conor McGregor
It's MMA
was liking
show, he
explicit
blocked.
videos of men performing sexual acts by themselves many, many moons ago. I called it out. Conor blocked me for it. But
Is that why people were talking? See, I never knew that. Is that why people... Bro, what? Is that why people were like, I bet Conor McGregor's happy that it took likes away, or remember that time Conor McGregor didn't turn his likes? Is that why he was doing what now?
was liking explicit videos of men performing sexual acts by themselves many, many moons ago. I called it out. Conor blocked me for it. But Donald Trump apparently said on a podcast that Khabib Nurmagomedov was his favorite fighter. My guess is Khabib's undefeated. Khabib's dominant. He's like, you know what? He's one of the best. That's my favorite fighter. He talked to him recently. He posed for a picture with him recently. You can see it right here. And that set Conor McGregor off. Set him off. He went off. He went on these diatribes about Khabib. We're not going to read it all. We'll just read this one because this one's an entire book down here. You can pause the video and read for yourself. I'm not going to waste time. But he says, campaign-ending decision. A smelly, fat mountain monkey from the inbred mountains of Dagestan is your favorite UFC, parentheses, American company fighter. Wow, abysmal. Talk about a little bitch.
Facts. If that's the case, you wouldn't be his favorite fighter either, because you're not American. If you had to put the American company in question.
More. You're worried about another grown man's favorite fighter? I'm like, yeah, American company. You're from
like
Ireland,
36
bro.
acting like this, bro. Facts. That's what I'm
And
saying.
it's an American-based company, but it's a worldwide company.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
have so many different races and ethnicities in this sport. Like, dude's crying because, he likes a Russian fighter that actually wins. And hasn't ruined his entire legacy, by the way. Unlike Conor, who's ruined his entire legacy. Well, he goes on to more crying and whining and whatnot. And you know what? Michael Chandler had to come to Trump's defense. He said, how dare you insult Donald Trump? Now, we're going to look at those tweets in a second.
Yeah, what's up with my light over
But
there?
I want to start off by looking at some videos right around the times of these tweets, maybe a little bit before. But it just goes to show you where Conor McGregor is at mentally right now. We're going to look at one video of him at BKFC in the cage. We're going to look at another video that's absolutely hilarious. That's some cell phone footage outside of BKFC. And it just goes to show this is not a guy.
The alcoholic's
This is not
back.
a guy that's getting ready for a fight.
The guy said he was going clean. The last 6 weeks, going clean. You seeing him sniffing bottles here, sniffing bottles. Really selling it to you on camera. But you really think he's at these nightclubs, these parties, or he's working out in his gym while there's a party outside, and while they party, I walk. While I walk, they party. You can party later. I walk. Solid walk. The fuck out of here.
Fight. This is not a guy that's prepared to fight. I mean, how many dates have been teased at this point?
It's the same thing.
Michael Chandler
It's the
recently
same
was
thing.
teased.
It's the same thing. Like when they were doing Tough. Oh yeah, we're looking towards the spring of next year. Didn't happen. Okay, now we're looking towards the summer. Boom, we announced a date. Yep. But we're looking towards the summer. Summer passes. Okay, now we're looking towards the end of the year. Sometime during the end of the year. I don't really know when, but sometime during the end of the year, I'm looking to make my return.
He's in the sphere. That's not happening. This is Conor McGregor at BKFC doing an interview in the cage. I want you to just look at him. I just want you to look at his body language. I just want you to
Haven't
look
seen
at the
these,
way
by the
he's
way. I've
acting,
only
the way he's
seen
licking his
him
lips, the way he's acting
drinking a
erratic.
beer in the ring, and I've
This
seen
is a
him
guy that's
outside
still
while
drinking.
the dwarf tried
He's
to
going to drink in this video in a second. This is a guy that's probably doing drugs.
little person.
And this is a guy that's in no condition
throw it back on.
to get ready for a fight camp. He pulled out with a broken baby toe. It's just not going to happen. I'd be shocked if he ever fights in the UFC again, let alone fight Chandler. And Chandler's finally admitting to it, which we're going to look at in a second. But this is him at BKFC. Watch his mouth. Watch his mouth. I mean, this is crazy.
Like Sturgis, South Dakota, for Rally Week, baby.
My man.
Badass, them bare knuckle and American rock and roll. Nothing, baby, that's what.
By the way, this guy just wants.
Oh, I also saw him smoking a
admiration.
blunt outside, but
I think he's checked out. I don't think he wants to fight anymore, especially not in fights that he could potentially lose. But did you see him in the beginning, like licking all around his lips and whatnot? He's ready for his next coke hit in the bathroom. You know he likes going public restrooms.
Look at the fights we've just had. Look at the fights still to come. Cyrus, my man, look out into the crowd. This is the baddest plot of land in all of the USA today. And I had to come for a taste. Thank you all so much for your support. I hope you're having a great night here at the Bare Knuckle Fighting. And here, take off the gloves and fight, bitch. There's nothing like Bare Knuckle.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the...
So there you go. Conor doing an interview, but watch what he does afterwards. He starts drinking, smashing alcoholic drinks in the cage here. Or not in the cage, in the ring.
Notorious
Which is just hilarious.
McGregor.
To be honest, I thought they were going to throw him some alcohol right here. I just turned down the volume a little bit so I don't get copyright for that music. But I thought they were going to start throwing him alcohol like Stone Cold Steve Austin here in a second.
That's what I was thinking that too.
Drink and just starts chugging it in the ring.
By the great Conor McGregor.
I'm assuming that's his alcohol.
Here in the BKFC ring at BKFC 63 at the Sturgis Buffalo Chip in Sturgis, South Dakota. One of the most
Does that look like a guy that's getting ready to join a fight camp? Does that look like a guy that's ready to get into fight camp? Does that look like it? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, that's not even the best part of this. There's some cell phone footage. There's some
I've seen this.
Of Conor McGregor outside of this event. It looks like he's in some type of trailer park here. This looks like some type of like funnel cake stand back here. And Conor's got the whole leather attire. He's probably got some assless chaps on. He's standing next to a midget. And I mean, this video just speaks for itself. Watch this video.
She wanted some Conor play. No. This one ain't that funny. Because Conor wasn't feeling it, bro. You can tell.
Hold on, that's way too loud. That's way too loud.
Why are you so close, bro?
Look at this. Look at this girl. Look at this girl. Connor's probably gonna
makes eye contact.
Took her home after this.
Bro, stop, Joey. Come on, come on.
Connor's like, play it cool, play it.
Buddy, what the fuck is that?
Cool, play it cool. I mean, this is what Connor's up to. This is what Connor's up to. Oh, man, that's funny. That's funny. That's what Connor's up to. You know what? Michael Chandler's envious. Michael Chandler's about the same height as this girl here. Michael Chandler's envious. But this is what Connor's up to. You know, I did a video in the past of the interview he did when he's filming the movie. And he's like twitching all over the place. And he looks like hungover. He looks like he's strung out.
Yes, man.
And now this is what he's doing in his spare time. There's also another clip that I'm not going to show you in this video of Dana White saying, and this was from last week, I'm not even thinking about Conor fighting right now. And I would play that in this video, but it's from TNT Sports. They always copyright, even if you use 5 seconds. So I can't show you that video here.
Do they?
But I'll link that video down in the description. But
I didn't know he said that. Did he actually say that?
Video, but it's from TNT Sports. They always copyright, even if you use 5 seconds. So I can't show you that video here. But I'll link that video down in the description. But after the earlier tweet that I showed you, right? So
I'm not monetized.
He tweeted all this stuff about Donald Trump. Michael Chandler had to come running to Trump's defense. Running to his defense. Not here. This is here. I wanted to show you guys this as well. This was right before he started coming to the defense.
The what?
December UFC 310. Does anyone believe a word that Chandler says anymore? UFC 310 December. He's been teasing the Sphere. I'm not going to go through the long list of dates he previously teased.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this guy's been lying and selling wolf tickets for so long.
He just wants to fight. I think the liar is Conor.
So you have this. You have this
Michael
tweet
Chandler's
here.
just throwing out suggestions.
Is tweeting to Conor. He hired a campaign manager. It's an election year, I reckon. I don't even know what he's talking about here because the post got deleted. But the actual tweets that matter, it says, stop it at the Notorious MMA. If you had half the balls of DT, which is Donald Trump, I'm assuming, would have shown up to June 29th instead of your normal. Instead, you are normal walking, beer chugging, Austin 316 style at your local fight show / motorcycle rally in South Dakota, a red 100% MAGA state, by the way. And I mean, basically just sycophantically worshiping a political leader, I guess, on, because he doesn't like what Conor had to say. And then Conor responded, bro, he doesn't even know who the fuck you are. He probably thinks you're a little broke begging asswipe.
He definitely
Which,
does.
I mean, I'm being dead serious. Has anyone embarrassed themselves more than Michael Chandler in the last few years? I'm being serious. I'm not kidding. I know a lot of people say, Joey, you just hate on Chandler. Has this guy embarrassed himself any more in the last? Is there anyone else that's embarrassed himself even more?
No.
I mean, Cody Brundage
is
embarrassed of Michael Chandler. And that's saying something. And that's saying something. I mean, seriously. Now he's got to defend his, his pseudo deity.
But I will say it would all be worth it if he does fight McGregor and he fucking steamrolls him. You gotta steamroll him though. Can't be competitive. You have to steamroll him for it to be worth it. You have to steamroll him. Definitive. Don't give them McGregor fans anything to hold on to. That's the only way. That's the only way. That's the only way.
On Twitter, because Conor lashed out over a favorite fighter, which Conor was probably drunk, but he calls him out on the whole, motorcycle rally and drinking and hanging out with the little people and whatnot. And then we get a response from Chandler again. And this is where he finally admits the fight isn't happening. He says, never mind, guys. I think it's time I finally admit the fight is off. He's still in stage 2 of 7 of grief pertaining to his career being over. Figured he'd be closer to 5 by now. Godspeed, the Notorious MMA. Conor responded with a question mark. LOL, okay, little bro.
Okay, little bro.
Out handy. Blessed MMA. What are you doing in December? The real BMF,
Don't flatter yourself.
Look, Michael Chandler finally admitted it. Never mind, guys. I think it's time to finally admit the fight's off. Now, I took this 2 ways, kind of. Maybe he is coming to the realization because I truly believe the fight's never going to happen. I've been telling you guys this for... You guys are probably tired of hearing me say, oh, I've been telling you guys about this for 2 years or a year and a half or a year or 6 months. I mean, how long have I been saying this for? And I've been regurgitating that in videos. But he says, look, it's finally time to admit it. But the other thing I could take it as...
Maybe he's trying to Conor.
He's trying to use reverse psychology with Conor.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, the fight's never going to happen. And then Conor's like, no. I'm telling you right now, the second Michael Chandler deviates from Conor, Conor's going to forget about him. Conor's going to be pissed. Conor's going to be like, okay, forget about him. And he says, look, I'll take on Max Holloway. Now, I know Max Holloway's taken on Ilia Topuria, but the UFC's done crazier. Even if Max beats Topuria, it wouldn't be crazy for them to have Max defend the BMF title at 170 against Conor McGregor. Now, I'm not predicting that to happen, but if Max loses at Topuria in October,
if he comes out victorious,
it doesn't make perfect sense, but it makes sense enough that the UFC would do it. People want to see that rematch. Max is going to take it. Max is going to want it.
I don't want to see it.
So, but I don't even think Conor's going to fight in December.
I don't want to see that shit.
But it's just hilarious.
Fuck, I want to see Max beat the shit out of Conor
supposedly left his family in mid-January. in mid-January. And now here we are.
No, stop. What?
The Michael Chandler supposedly left his family in mid-January. in mid-January. And now here we are. We are in August, almost mid-August of 2024. A fight that was initially announced in February of 2023, and Chandler's finally admitting, I think it's time to finally admit the fight's off. Well, no shit, numbnuts. I mean, this guy, I know I didn't want to go through all the dates, but
this is my first, I've seen MMA Joey before, but this is my first time watching his videos. This is my first time watching an MMA Joey video. This is great. This is
December of 2023, UFC 300, UFC 303, UFC Noche at the Sphere, And now he's teasing December, UFC 310. I don't think this fight ever happens. I'm glad that maybe Chandler's finally coming around to it because he's a complete and utter embarrassment. And then to add the cherry on the top, you know, we already know Chandler's listening to Creed. He's 6 foot from the edge. He's created his own prison. But to top it all off, the cherry on the top, we have Arman Tsarukyan. And Arman Tsarukyan says, does it mean we can finally watch you lose 4 exciting fights now?
Damn.
And then he also says 14 months later, he quoted his own tweet that said, hey, Mike Chandler, if you really think the fight with Conor is still happening, you're as dumb as your fight IQ. So it's literally like everyone is shitting on Chandler. Because this dude has sat around while a guy has made fun of him and wasted his career. All while Chandler's been sniffing his asshole this entire time. So at this point, Conor's already won, guys. I hate to tell you, Conor's already won. I don't ever want to see Chandler fight again. I don't know how you guys feel. You have to let me know down in the comments. I don't ever want to see him.
If Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler fought in December, I bet $500 on Michael Chandler.
Fight again. I will never root for him again because the way he's acted, like basically being on a leash from another grown man. It's like Conor's been walking him like a dog for the last 2 years. And it's just been a complete and utter humiliation. And so many people have tried to tell him, so many fans have tried to tell him. I mean, how many times could he have fought by now? What's his last win?
About 4 times.
His last win, oh my God. Tony Ferguson is his last win. Think about how crazy that is. Michael Chandler's last win is Tony Ferguson.
He's also been fighting killers.
He's been waiting and praying and hoping for the Conor McGregor fight. And now he's admitting it's never going to happen. And I'm telling you, if Conor decides he wants a different fight, or Conor decides he wants to wait out his contract, wait out the sunset clause, and go fight in BKFC, Chandler's just going to be left high and dry again. So maybe he's trying to use reverse psychology on Conor. Maybe he's not. But I just think no matter what, it's a complete and utter humiliation. And about time he moves on. And he should move on quick. Maybe. And I don't know what the UFC would do. But they're going to need a main event for Salt Lake City, UFC 307. I don't personally want this, and I'm not advocating for it. But could they say Max Holloway relinquishes the BMF? Remember they said Jorge Masvidal relinquished the BMF or vacated the BMF, which was corny as hell. For the Salt Lake City card last year, wasn't that UFC 291? I believe that was Salt Lake City.
That's because he was retired.
And then they did Gaethje versus Dustin.
He's retired.
Could they have Max Holloway relinquish that belt because he's fighting Topuria, because they didn't advertise BMF title fight for that card, and then do like a Conor McGregor BMF title fight?
Conor's not fighting at Elevation.
I'm sorry. Could they do like a Michael Chandler versus like Charles Oliveira BMF title fight for Salt Lake City? I don't think that should happen. I don't want that to happen. But the UFC's done crazier, and they're going to think, well, we kind of owe Chandler. You know, he's sitting around groveling for 2 years looking like a little pussy bitch. And we got to owe him. We got to throw him some type of bone. He's not going to get Conor's bone that he so desperately wanted for many years. He's been sniffing his ass. So maybe that's something they throw together, because at the end of the day, Michael Chandler's pretty exciting. And almost 40 years old now. Wasted so much of his career. Only has 2 wins in the UFC. So maybe they pull something out of their hat for Salt Lake City, give Michael Chandler a BMF title fight, and then look, if Michael Chandler wins the BMF title, potentially they can give Conor that fight for the BMF title. So I don't know. That's just pure speculation. I don't think Conor versus Chandler ever happens. I'm not even sure Conor ever fights in the UFC again. But I just wanted to do a quick update because it seems like Chandler might finally be coming
even
around.
If they do announce it,
finally
I'm not
coming around to the fact this fight's never happening.
Be so
Let me know
until
what you guys think down in the comments.
They're both in the octagon, and Bruce is saying it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been it for this video. Great video, Joey. Great video, Joey. Great video, Joey. That was great. Guy had me dying laughing. So that was great. Y'all let me know if you think this fight is ever happening. You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get up out of here, man. Yeet.